Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about some new changes that are coming to me and my fiance's life. And this little one that wants to make an appearance in my video today. Huh, buddy? So we have been living in this apartment that you've been seeing in all my videos for over a year. It's actually been a year and like 4 months. Yeah, about 4 or 5 months. Sorry guys, my mind went blank. So a little over a year and a half. But we are coming up on our leaving date, which is going to be December, I think the 16th or the 19th is our leaving date. So we have decided as a family to be in a shed home. So I'm really excited about this move. It's going to be a really great adventure and I'm really excited. I obviously am going to take you guys along with me for the journey. I really want to like vlog the process. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that on my phone. So hopefully we can get into a better camera situation for like vlogging the like building of it, so you guys can come along for that adventure. So basically what this means is we have decided to take on a more minimalist and a more frugal lifestyle. So I have never labeled myself a minimalist or a frugal lifestyle liver anytime on this channel because I really have not been living that way. You can't really tell that from my bedroom because I try to keep it as nice and tidy as possible. And you also don't see a lot of the stuff that I have in storage. And a lot of the stuff that I have just, put away in boxes that I'm not even using. And we have so much stuff. And that's not the reason for us having such a big apartment. We had a big apartment because we started off with a roommate and then lost our roommate. So we've been paying about $900 a month on our own for the apartment itself, for the water, the gas, the sewage, the TV, and the actual like apartment building itself, and then we have to pay electricity on our own. So that adds up to about $1,000 a month if you want to think about it, which is really expensive. Obviously there's some pricier apartments, but for us that's just a lot to take on, especially now that I am venturing out of a full-time job and I'm now a part-time worker, and I am putting a lot of my heart and soul into YouTube and blogging and things like that. So it's a big expense. So we've decided to go ahead and downsize into the shed home. So obviously a shed home is pretty self-explanatory. It's a shed that you convert into a actual living area. For us, there is 2 options available. I will not say which option we chose because we really don't have a chosen option at the moment. But I will provide that for you in case you're interested in doing something like we're doing, so you know what is available to you. So option number 1 is to DIY everything, which for the most part we want to do. That's doing the building, the painting, the making of it, all on your own, and it actually saves you quite a bit of money. Obviously there's some stuff that you want to look for professional, like plumbing. Electrical, for us, we don't really have to do like hire an electrician because my fiance is very skilled in that, because his like father and grandfather were all like, I guess you want to call them like flippers, like they used to flip houses a lot, so they're familiar with that area. Yeah, so basically we're going to save a lot of money in DIYing a lot of the stuff that we are going to put into this home, as well as maybe the whole shed itself. But option 2 is to already buy the shed pre-made. Sometimes they install it for you, sometimes you're going to still have to build it yourself, but you bought the actual unit. For us in the state of Texas, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to be when you go to different states. I don't think it's going to vary that much, but labor and the lumber itself and things like that are always different in different areas. But for us, we've looked at a price range between about $3,800 to $5,000. We're going to top it up at $5,000 for the actual unit itself. Now we can look into getting a loan for this and just buying it outright like that. We can look into financing it because a lot of places do let you finance it for a very reasonable rate because it's just a shed. And then everything else we build with time. So I think that we are most likely going to look into financing it, honestly, but I don't want to make that final decision until obviously we have a more in-depth talk about it. But those are the two options that are available to you. So obviously with downsizing to a smaller place, there is removing a lot of your stuff. So that is going to be something that we are going to be doing a lot of. We are going to be getting rid of things that we don't wear anymore, things that we don't use anymore, things that have just been piling up that honestly, if we haven't touched in a year, why do we need it? So that's going to be a fun part. I'm going to be taking you guys along with me as I declutter a lot of stuff and make more decisions on what we purchased, where we went. Hopefully I can start vlogging a lot of the experience for you guys when we're going to the hardware store and when we're actually like putting different touches onto the house itself. So onto the money saving part of it. The money saving part of it comes from a lot of different aspects. So number one is the land itself. We are not going to be renting an actual like plot of land from anybody. You can most definitely do that, especially because even if you're financing the shed, it's not very much. So adding in the land is not going to be a huge expense depending on where you live. But we have decided to move our shed into the back of my mother's home. So you can do this. It's completely okay. But obviously you can't have a gigantic shed in the back of somebody's yard. So that's going to be something that we downsize quite a bit on. But it's okay with the two of us. Like I said, we only have me, my fiance, and the dogs. And the dogs would be fine just running around outside all day. So we don't really need a lot of space. Obviously, when you have a bigger family, these things have to adjust. But when you have a small family like we do right now, it works out just fine. And our plan for this is to turn it into a positive area. So we are saving money by not renting land out from the city or from anybody. And we're also saving money because we eventually want to purchase my mother's home from her, and we can turn the shed home into a rental property, which would bring in more income for us later down the road. So it's going to turn into a positive income later on, and once we do all the repairs and stuff that we want to do, because we also have to repair my mother's house in general. So that's going to give us some downtime to kind of still have a place to live, but also save a ton of money while doing it. So that's number one. We're saving on the land itself because we're putting it in somebody's backyard. Number two, like I've said before, we are saving because we're DIYing a lot of the stuff that as much as we can as possible. Obviously, with living in somebody's backyard, I don't really need to have plumbing right away because I can use her bathroom and her shower. However, it is an expense that's going to come, so it's not going to be super cheap, and I can't necessarily DIY plumbing. If you have a plumber in your household or in your family, that's going to save you a ton of money. Like, I have an electrician in my family, so that's going to save me a ton of money. But also just like the repairs itself. You can buy a shed that's uber simple and install a lot of the stuff yourself. The only things that we're really looking at that we don't want to DIY, like we want the shed to already have, is things like windows. But that's pretty much it. Like if the lighting itself, obviously we're going to put in there ceiling fans and circulation and stuff like that. We're also going to save a ton because we don't necessarily need an AC because we're going to have the windows and also the fan itself. Obviously you can put in an AC if you really want to, but I don't think we're going to. We're also saving a lot of money because we're not going to be paying electricity on our own. We're not going to be paying the water on our own, and the mortgage itself. So obviously we will be paying my mom something for living on her property, but it's pretty much, I'm more than sure that it's just going to be like a split down the middle of the utilities and stuff because For those of you who are not familiar, when you are living on somebody's property, the electricity is going to be shared. So it's not going to be two completely separate electric bills. It's going to be one electric bill to one address, but obviously there's just two separate like buildings living on that lot. So we're going to be able to split it with her, as well as the water and groceries. Obviously, we don't spend a lot on groceries on ourselves, but if we needed to, if we fell on like a hard time, or if we just wanted some extra help or some support or whatever, we can split the grocery bill with my mother. So that comes in handy as well. What else do I have to let you guys know? I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I just wanted to kind of update you guys on where we were going, how our frugal living is going to begin, and I hope you guys are excited as I am. I obviously am still going to be, oh, that's another topic I guess I should bring up for my couponing family. My stockpile can be put into the shed, or it can be put into my mother's house. She does not mind that at all, but I will give you an example for you guys that maybe do not have the luxury of, storing it in somebody else's house. The shed itself, you can add on to it. You can buy a bigger shed to put your stockpile in. My stockpile itself is not gigantic, so that's also something that you have to vary on. How big is your stockpile? How big do you want to, or how much stuff do you want to save necessarily? So for me, it's probably not going to be a big deal. It seems like I have a lot of stuff when you look at it, but I really don't. I don't have stock for too long, just enough to get us through what we need, because we really don't use that much stuff in a matter of a couple months. So I am going to be still doing my couponing. I am still going to be having a stockpile. It's just going to be maybe a unique way of storing things and figuring out how we are going to make the most of the storage that we have. So like I said, I hope you guys are really excited for it. I'm excited to show you guys all the new renovations and stuff like that. And obviously we're going to be saving a ton of money, and this is going to be great for us as a family. For you guys who are watching this and maybe are coming on one income, or whatever the money situation is that you have, I think this is a great option to save you guys so much money on mortgages and rent and utilities and groceries and all of that stuff. I think it's going to dramatically reduce our cost. And although I'm not working at all, like I have income coming in somewhere, it's not a huge amount. So obviously we are kind of under one income because the bulk comes from my fiance, but I think it's a really great option if you are living on one income, and that you can do it too. And yeah, and before I end this video, I wanted to quickly mention that I have started blogging. I'm going to leave the link down below. I'm super excited. You guys have always wanted to do this, and I'm so incredibly happy. Thank you guys so much for everybody who watches an ad, subscribes to my channel, likes my videos. You guys are helping me so much, and I'm so happy that you guys enjoy my videos, that you enjoy watching me, from my personal story times to my saving money to my growth of my family. I really thank you guys so much. So if you want to read my blog, it's down below. I have 2 posts up right now, but I will be updating you guys multiple times throughout the day and throughout the week and things like that. So I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope you guys are ready for the new adventure coming. If you guys have questions on this video, leave it down below so I can make a part 2 to this video, just answering you guys' questions. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.